So lesson 9.5 looks at the slope-intercept form. So the slope-intercept form of an equation is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is our y-intercept. Okay, these are important to remember. Our symbols, again, y equals mx plus b. And if we look at our example here, we have y equals 2x plus 1. Our slope in this case would be our 2, and our y-intercept would be 1. And if we were to graph that y-intercept on our graph over here, we know what our y is, and our x is just going to be 0, 1. Okay, that would be the ordered pair. So again, if we graphed it on our graph over here, it's already pointed out here for us. I'll just fill it in just so we see it. Our x is 0, so we don't move anywhere for our x, and our y is 1, so we just go up on the graph 1, and that is our point, our ordered pair for our y-intercept. Okay. And if we wanted to do our slope, in this case, actually we'll talk about that a little later, so I won't talk about it now. I don't want to confuse you guys. So our first example is to state the slope and the y-intercept of the graph of each equation. So we have y equals 3x plus 1. Our slope is going to be 3. Our slope is our m, or this number that's going to be right in front of our x, and our y-intercept in this case is just going to be 1, and that would be our b term if we're looking at it in terms of the formula itself. 1b, y equals negative 2x. Our slope is going to be negative 2. Our y-intercept is just going to be 0. We don't have a b term there, so our y-intercept is just 0. The next one says state the slope and the y-intercept of the graph of negative 4x plus y equals 2. Okay, so first things first, we need to have this equation in slope-intercept form. Our slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Okay, so I want to rewrite this equation in slope-intercept form. So I have negative 4x plus y is equal to 2. Okay, I want it in that form of y equals mx plus b. To do that, I'm just going to add 4x to both sides to get the y by itself. I can't add 2 and 4x because they are not like terms, so I would just rewrite it as y equals 4x plus 2. Okay, so now my equation is in my slope-intercept form. So my slope here would be 4, and my y-intercept would be 2. And I'm done. Alright, so graphing these equations. So we want to graph y equals negative 2/3 x plus 3 using the slope and y-intercept. Okay, so let's first step 1, we want to find our slope and y-intercept. So our slope in this case would be negative 2/3, and our y-intercept would be 3. And our next step, graph the y-intercept at, and our ordered pair for our y-intercept we know is, our y-intercept is 3, so our ordered pair where we graph it would be 0, 3. So if I come over to my graph here and graph that on the on here, my x is 0, so I don't have to go anywhere there, and my y is 3, so I'm going to go up 3 and put my point there. Okay, so graph my y-intercept at point 0, 3. Now we want to use rise over run, which we know is the slope, to find another point on the line. We know our slope is, in this case, m is negative 2/3. I want to rewrite that. It's negative 2/3. Okay? So my 2 is going to be my rise. My 3 is going to be my run. Hence rise over run. Okay? But don't forget we have a negative. You can attach that negative to either the 2 or the 3. It does not matter. Because you're still going to get the same graph. Okay, so if I want to graph that, we want to graph, we really only need 2 points to determine our line, but we want to usually graph more than 2 just to be sure that our line is correct. So I'm going to attach this negative to the 2. So I'm going to fix this real quick. I'm going to make it negative 2 over 3. Okay, so my rise, that means I'm going, because it's negative, I'm going down 2 from my ordered pair of, or my point 0, 3. I'm going to go down 2 on the y-axis. So I go down 2. It's going to give me here. And now I want to go right 3. Okay, so I want to do my run. It's a positive 3, so I'm going to go right 3 on my x-axis. So 1, 2, 3. And I would have another point there. Okay, so let's just graph one more. Again, we're going to go down 2. Because our rise is negative 2, so we're going to go down 2 on our y-axis. We're going to go right 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to have another point here. I'm only drawing these lines in here just so you guys see exactly where I'm going on the graph and why I'm going. So you understand I'm going down 2 on the y-axis and right 3 on my x-axis. So you do not need these lines in your graph. Oh, we erased one of our points. So I'll just fix these real quick. Went down 2, right 3. Down 2, right 3. Okay, so we're good. Now we want to connect these points. When you're drawing these lines on your graph, you want to use a straight edge. I'm just going to connect them freehand here. But you guys definitely do want to use a straight edge when you are connecting your points on your graph. Okay, so our graph would look something like that. If you're using a straight edge, it would be much more accurate. Okay, so that we just did our fourth step. We drew a line through the 2 points, and we extended the line with our arrows. Okay, now last problem says a kite flying 60 feet in the air is falling. The altitude of the kite can be represented by y equals negative x plus 60, where x is the time in seconds. So we want to state the slope and y-intercept of the graph of the equation and describe what they represent. So we have y equals negative x plus 60. Our slope in this case would be our m. It would be a negative 1. Because that 1 is understood to be in front of that x, and our y-intercept would be 60. Okay, that is our b term here. So my slope, this represents my slope represents the feet per second that the kite is falling. And then my y-intercept of 60, this represents how high in feet the kite is flying. Rather than use these semicolons, I don't want to use those here. I don't want you guys to get confused or anything. We'll just use arrows just so you guys understand what it represents.